We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Donna with the Doc Bookshop, and I am in conversation with the one and only Pat Simmons. Okay.
Thankful to be here.
We love her. She got a new release out this year called The Day of Salvation.
Yes.
And so we're going to be talking about this book and just a lot of other stuff. Just kind of how you're doing and what's going on in your life and your plans, all that. So before we get to all that, though, I just want to just briefly introduce the Doc Bookshop for those who don't know. The Doc Bookshop is an indie bookstore. We've been around for 17 years. We're located on the east side of Fort Worth in Texas. So if you're in the DFW area, please come. Please stop by. Please join us. Pat will be here for another, till 1 o'clock. I think from 12 to 1 she's here. So if you're in the area, please come and get your book signed by her new release. And then you get a
free book.
Free one. We like freebies.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We love freebies. Okay, so while I'm going to check and make sure all my channels are working.
Okay.
Because I have done a whole live and issues. So now I pause to make sure my channels are working. And while I'm doing that, please share this live.
Yes.
Gather in. We want as many people to hear this conversation as possible.
And tag.
And I am going, yes, please tag. And make sure we're on Facebook.
Okay.
Let me see. We are. I know I stop and make sure because I know everyone. Okay, sounds good. That sounds good.
Yay.
Let's check our YouTube. Make sure our YouTube is good, and then we can proceed. I gotta make sure we are.
Do what you need to do so everybody can see this.
Okay. All right. All the channels are working. Yay. And Danya may come and put us on IG. I know we got some IG followers as well, but Danya has to do that separately.
Okay. That's fine.
Anyway.
That's fine.
But we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us. Let's get into it.
Okay.
So Pat Simmons, tell the people a little bit about yourself. She is just a long time in the industry. Okay, she's actually I'm in the presence of a living legend.
Oh my! No, I'm surrounded by living legends.
You have been in industry. No, you have what, over 50 books?
50.
Okay, can you imagine that? 50 books?
No, I can't. And on my way here, for those of you that don't know, I'm from St. Louis. So on the drive here, I'm writing. I'm working on the Christmas book, and everyone is used to my annual Christmas book. So I better not disappoint.
Wonderful. So just tell us about your journey. Like, how did it all get started?
Well, I think for every author, our journey is at least one person that believed in us. That's all it takes.
All it takes
is one person. I was about to just throw in the towel with submissions and things of that nature. But my dear editor, Joy Lynn Jossell, which I think she goes under Ross, but she was the editor with Urban Christian at the time, distributed through Kensington. And she loved my story. She really loved my Grandma BB. Everybody loves Grandma BB. Silver hair, Stacey Adam wearing woman with the gun. And who knew that Grandma BB
was a joke?
Grandma BB would carry my series up to 14. And this is part of the series that, I'm giving away. You have to get your book from the Doc Shop in order to get this book free. But it's part of the series. And I got an email from a lady today. She said, "You're leaving me hanging, right? My fear is you're going to end this series. And I don't know what happened to Pace and JC and all that. But it takes time. It takes time. And I've been writing this year, trying to complete books now. And it's just more than a notion. Writing a book is more than a notion.
It ain't for the faint heart.
It's not. And you need encouragement along the way. So when I got her email, I'm like, okay, let me finish up these projects and give this woman what she wants. But with these books, there's history in it. Mm-hmm. So that takes time to research. And I like to find the old documents, mm-hmm. you know.
Because actually in your books, you do incorporate some of your actual ancestors in your books.
Some of mine I do. Some, just what I uncover, like, I looked at the 1860 Mississippi morbidity book, and I find researching my family. And in 1860, every state had a morbidity book. Every state. It tells everyone that died in that state is listed in that book. And the book is like this, and it's a one-liner, and it's your last name, your first name, what you died of, how many months, years you lived, and the county.
Okay.
I mean, the books.
They still have that?
They should. Okay. But you know, they're digitalizing a lot of the documents. But if you can get the hard copy that most libraries have in their genealogy department, it's fascinating. I was going through it trying to find my family, but just see what people died of in 1860. So as I'm just turning the page, looking at last names, I got to the last name N. I was not prepared for this. Shouldn't have been a shocker, but it was. Under the last name N was listed Negro as a last name in the book.
Okay. So you're saying the first name was
the first name. The book starts with the last name of a person. Mm-hmm. So Simmons. So the last name would be Adams all the way down to Bellamy, whatever. And it was an alphabetical order. It'd be the last name because that's how you would find out if your ancestor or your relative died that year. You would search your surname.
Right. So I'm just trying to figure out, do they have the last name Negro or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was dumbfounded.
And the first name was Ian?
Well, the first name from Ann Betty all the way down to Zachary, the first name, but your last name listed in that book was Negro.
Interesting.
That's what I thought. And so that's why I love to write the Jameson legacy, because I actually put history like that in the books. So I created a story of a young man who didn't have a father in the home, but he's carrying his father's last name. He's angry. You know,
right?
Why do I have to carry your name? And so I'm like, how can I tell this story? And so he meets an old lady in a nursing home, and she can tell just from his behavior, he has a chip on his shoulders. She asks why. And he says, she says, you're Jameson. Don't call me that name. And she said, baby, there were relatives that died without a name. And so she brings in that document. She says there's pages and pages of Negro that would have loved to have a name, but they didn't have a name. So she says it's not the man that makes the name, it's the man you become. You make your name. And so that's how I weave into every book these historical tidbits.
Right.
And so in this book that people are going to get free when you order from the doc shop, there is more historical information. He tracks down two cousins, and he tells people how he tracked these cousins down. It's the characters are fictional,
right?
But the documents are true.
There's always a bit of facts in fiction.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. And so, because I have a news background, I listen to the news. I'm like, that is so funny. I can't believe this. This got to go into a story. But my Jamesons, they're 14 books strong now.
Wow. I didn't realize 14.
14. And if I do what this woman email me about, it'll be 15.
Wow.
But that won't be until next year, because I have to research. And every city that I place them, the last book was in Omaha. And people don't realize how Omaha really has and I'm sorry, I should have turned my phone off, how Omaha really does have a place in African American history.
Oh, I'm from Omaha, so
yeah. Okay,
yes.
There you go. The Oregon Trail, and people look at the southern states, the deep South, but
the Midwest, because that was part of the Great Migration as well.
That's correct.
You know, a lot of people from Omaha, from Texas and the South.
Right.
You know, due to the factories.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
Yep, Malcolm
right.
X birthplace is in Omaha.
Right.
Yes.
And people don't realize that part of the history. And what I really enjoy by Isabel.
So you was in Omaha?
I was in Omaha, yes.
Oh my God.
I was in Omaha because I have to do my research. I mean, my husband loves these road trips, but
I love road trips too.
But
I love it.
But I have to feel, and it's funny because another book in this series, I took my characters to Ghana, Africa. I didn't go to Ghana.
Okay.
But I felt like I was in Ghana. I'm like, okay, take me home. But I was at a book signing, and you know, and when people say, well, what book should I get? Well, you know, I have 50. So I always ask people, tell me something about you, because my favorite book was my fourth book. My character was in prison. That's my favorite book. So you may not want to read about a woman that was in prison. So I always try to get a feel. And he says, well, I've been to Africa. I said, oh, you got to get the acquittal. So the whole purpose in that particular book was to show the stereotypes that African Americans have of Africans, and the stereotypes that Africans have of African Americans.
Yes.
And so I did the research, and so he bought the book. Now, this is what he told me. He went back to work and dogged me out to his coworker and said, can you believe she wrote a book on Africa and she's never been? The nerve of her. I mean, he actually sent me an email and told me this. But he said that when he started reading the book, he married an African woman. And he said, I brought back the sights, the sounds, the taste of the food. He said, you stepped on it. And I said, what better compliment? But he didn't tell me that he was an ambassador to all these different African countries. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So he didn't tell me that when he got the book. But it was so nice of him.
Oh, wow.
And that was encouraging. So I do my research.
Right. And it's great that you had that point, because I just want to add that today we do have the African diaspora literary experience going on today, where we'll be dealing with topics such as that, you know, just breaking down stereotypes and just connecting, you know, so it's interesting. Okay, so wonderful. Okay, so of the 50 books, we know about the Jamesons.
Yes.
How would you categorize the others?
Well, this is part of my spiritual warfare, Day of Salvation. And I know people are watching, they're like, okay, but this is her new book. How come she's not talking about her new book? But at any rate, this is my long series. But this took me out of my comfort zone. It's part of my intercessors. And
okay, so this is part of the intercessor series?
Right.
Okay.
It's 4 books. It's on pause. Don't know if it'll be any more. But really, God wrote this book for me, because when I came out of my prayer closet, God said, write day not promised. And I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? I'm a Christian romance author. And day not promised sound like you can ready to take some people out. And so, I mean, I had no.
So you had to expand your genre a little bit.
A completely different genre. So, I mean, I'm trying to tell God all these reasons, but every morning when I left my prayer closet, he gave me the chapter to write. And he basically, the whole point of this series is to show people the spiritual battles he fights for us every day so that we can have another day. And so
I love that.
Yeah, me too. But still didn't know what to do with that. So as I was writing the book, God was showing me visions to put in the book, show people this. And so the series starts off with a lady pumping gas. We pump gas. And on the other side is this fine, handsome guy pumping gas. And the gas station's getting robbed. And the guy's coming out the gas station, he's shooting. So he basically body slams her to the ground to protect her. When they looked up, they saw 2 angels with swords drawn and the bullets ricocheting off. And so from that moment on, God began to show her visions and say, you see that? Pray for her. And so the intercessors and the intercessors start before all the craziness that we got going on, which now I'm seeing why he had me write that, because of the craziness going on. And we could, and I mean, just seeing that. But so she doesn't know what to do with what God is showing her. And so her neighbor that is out, you always have that neighbor, this elderly neighbor that's always outside in the morning watering her grass, waving at you. Have a good day, have a good day. But that morning her neighbor said, may God protect you, or something different. And she, how would she say that? Well, then she starts. So in every book, it's showing the need for us to reconnect with God. And in Deus, I mean, this is God. So all the accolades I get, it's really God getting it, because I have no control. I have an outline, I do my research, I know my characters. But with these books, that's not the case. And some of my readers was like, but I like romance. So in the second book, I put a little romance in it, and that's This Day She Prayed, and they probably wish I hadn't. But at any rate, Day of Salvation is a book where Mother Kincaid has an early morning prayer call, and everyone gets on there with their prayer requests, and they're praying for family, they're praying for healing, they're praying. She gets off the prayer call, and God sends her a list of 10 people that must be saved. Must be. And so it's up to the intercessors to bring these people for Christ, because of what is going to happen in their life, or what is happening in their life, or whatever the situation. And she's like, okay, God, I got names. I don't know if they black or white, how old they are. I don't know if they live near me. I know nothing. I got names. And so she gets on the internet. She's like, I didn't know that, that this is a common name, but they weren't common. So she's like, okay, I need the other prayer warriors on this. And so as she's looking out the window, she's looking at the kids at the bus stop early in the morning. Shouldn't be at the bus stop, and it's still dark. And she saw all these demons trying to get to the kids. But then she saw 2 angels at their side. So it's the spiritual aspect. Wow. And so this is a different series. And when I get accolades, I said, God wrote the book, because I had to get an evangelist from church. I'm like, am I describing this right? Am I on par with this? Because it was out of my comfort zone. But I am so glad, because we need to know that God is fighting our battles. We need to know that today more than any other time.
That is so true.
Yeah, so that's
so encouraging.
Yeah, it really is. And so I'm thankful for the time that I spend with him every morning, and praying for other people, and just, I mean, I can go on and on some of the things God has woke me up to pray for, that will wind up being in a book, or has been in this book, just some of the things. And most of the people that have read the book said, you know what, even the evangelist that's helping me, she said, yeah, I got to get my act together. But some work needs to be done.
No, that's a special assignment, though. You have a list of names and then try to figure out who they are. And
yeah, but it's funny, because one person that's not on the prayer list, there's a wedding from this book. There's a wedding, and she, she's not married, so she had to go to the bathroom to fix something, but she's coming out, and one of the people that's on that list walks into church. She doesn't know this person is on the list.
Okay.
And so she's dressed for the wedding, but the person that's coming in, she's in a real cute tie-dye, ripped up jeans, but she's looking cute. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong place. She says, people never come to church by accident. Come on, let's watch this wedding. But while she's there, she's feeling uncomfortable, because it's the demons trying to pull her out. And so when her friends say, well, we didn't see you in the front row. Where were you? Oh, I was sitting in the back with a guest. She didn't want to stay. And they're talking. She said, oh, she was really cute too. And her name was Emerith Johnson. And they're like, Emerith, she's on the list. What list? So God is putting these people in their paths without them knowing. I know, isn't God awesome?
That is so interesting. One thing about fiction, I love just the imagination of it all. Just how this stuff comes to people. It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, that was amazing to me. And I'm like,
just stories that come.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, God, I'm ready for the next one. And he has it on pause because he has to give it to me.
Right. Well, Day of Salvation, that might be it.
It's possible.
I mean,
it could be because the third one is called Days Are Coming, which I thought should have been the first one.
Okay, so Days of Promise.
Day Not Promise.
Day Not Promise. And then you have Day She Prayed.
And you're going to be glad she prayed.
And then there's Day of Salvation.
Days Are Coming. They've been like a year apart, and then Day of Salvation.
Okay, so there's 4. Okay.
So it's 4, and this could be the last one. So I wasn't trying to force a series like with the Jamesons. The Jamesons are, everyone wants the Jamesons as the next door neighbor. Everybody wants their daughter to marry a Jameson man. And so now I'm doing the crossover that the children are young. And then they got the sassy Robnettes that are in Omaha.
Ooh, you got somebody in Omaha?
Yeah, that are in Kansas City. And so that side of the family was on the Oregon Trail.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I just love the research. I love to find the cities, Black history, and to show just because they were in the North does not mean they don't have the history.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yes, a lot of history in the Midwest.
Yes, it is. So, even in St. Louis, Dred Scott's case was actually on the courthouse steps. The slave pen was downtown Lynch, I forgot his first name, that was torn down, and our baseball stadium is on it. So yes, every city has history, but a lot of my readers like to go to those cities and look at the history.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love how we incorporate all that.
Yeah, I love the history part. I love the history.
Okay. Well, just to reset everything, I'm in conversation with Pat Simmons. She's here in Fort Worth at the Doc Bookshop. She'll be here for probably another 30 minutes or so. Please come if you can, meet and greet her. If you're not able to make it, we're going to have some signed books for you to come and pick up. The Day of Salvation. This is the latest. It came out in March, I believe. This year. Yes. And you're getting a free one. We love freebies.
Okay. In a history lesson, I'll leave some buttons.
We got some Day She Prayed buttons, and she got all the goodies. She got pins and bookmarks.
And I even had a friend of mine make some scented oil.
Oh, you got oil.
Scented oil you can use as a fragrance body oil, but that's what this is, and it's free. And so you get all this free stuff just by supporting a Black indie bookstore.
Thank you so much.
That's important.
Thank you for coming. I just appreciate you just thinking about us as you was in town. You say, hey, you know what? Stop by. I appreciate that.
Thank you for making time. And I just thank you for, we've been in a relationship for
it's been over 10 years about.
Probably because I've been writing 18 years. So
we got to start together. Because you 18, I'm 17.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so you're still here.
By the grace of God.
Yes, and I'm still here. And I'm still writing. And I enjoy talking about the history. My husband always says when we do a book signing, please do not talk about genealogy with her. I will step aside from the table and I'm like, so who are you trying to track down? Have you thought about doing this? I mean, it's just.
So do you do like family reunions and stuff like that? Y'all have a big family reunion? I'm not the Jameson, about you.
Yes. As a matter of fact, next month we have two. One on his mom, my husband's mom's side, one on my dad's side.
Okay.
And we try never to miss a family reunion. We hosted one in St. Louis the year when COVID was coming out. We just weren't sure if people were coming. And I mean, the place was packed, which we were surprised. We were glad, but we had over 150 Simmons in town and had to turn people away.
Really?
It's so many. It's so many Simmons. So many Simmons. So many. And so I always like to be able to present the family tree. So, of course, I did the book, did the family tree with the map showing where they came from, Mississippi, showing documents that they got fined for not registering to vote, but they didn't want them to vote. But just get, I mean,
and it's still, just crazy.
but that's stuff that we need to know. We need to know our history, and that would really bring us into focus. And
it help you understand what's going on.
Right. And it'll change our attitude. And we'll be stronger. If our ancestors, I was fortunate enough to know my great grandmother. I was fortunate. Her mind was good, but she had a leg amputated, so she wasn't mobile. But I would talk to her now. I wish I had asked her better questions. Mm-hmm. But what she gave me, now this is my great grandmother. She lived to be 97.
Where was she?
Where was she? She was in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
But her roots were from Arkansas. I got a lot of roots in Arkansas. But from what she told me, I was able to find my great grandmother's grandmother.
Wow.
My second grandmother. I was able to find her.
So you found your great grandmother.
Yeah.
Okay. And she was in Arkansas. Where that trace you to?
That took me back to Arkansas. But from Arkansas, they came up to Missouri. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, some of them branched off to Detroit and Chicago because that's what they were doing. Most people were coming from the South, trying to get to Chicago, trying to get to Detroit, trying to get to Canada. And our brother says, "Oh, come on to Chicago. There's plenty of jobs in Detroit." And there's even history there. But every city I go to, especially in Chicago, which I'm only 5 hours from, and I have tons of relatives there, which I tracked down that showed up at the book signing. So, I had to step away from the table because my kin folks were here. I had to step away from the table and love on them. But I have tracked down relatives. I went to a funeral of, I call him Uncle Willie, but he was like a second cousin, 2 or 3 times removed. So I was at his funeral. So I went to Arkansas. It was real funny. I caught the train to Arkansas, and a relative picked me up, and they took me to the trailer where he lived for the funeral procession. The herds and the limos came to the trailer, got everyone out, came out to the dirt road, and then turned next door to the church. We could have walked across the cornfield, but okay.
That's hilarious.
I know. I'm like, okay, if that's the way you do things here, okay. But I mean, just being around family, and then there's some family that think you're out for something. You're out for that land.
Oh. Yeah.
So
interesting. Okay, well, all right, we're going to wrap it up a little bit. We're going to start to wrap it up anyway. As we lead to that, let's talk about some of your upcoming projects, what you got going on, and how folk can reach you and all that stuff.
Sure. It's hard to get rid of me. You Google author Pat Simmons, I'll come up. It's patsimmons.net. If you do patsimmons.com, that's the Doobie Brothers. I do not have any musical talents. So don't do a .com. I'm just saying.
You are hilarious.
I will entertain myself. You know how someone would put a person in punishment, and when I was a little kid.
Fashion.com, the Doobie Brothers.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, that was who did I? That I was being named. Blame it on my husband. He's a Simmons. But this year I am trying to complete novels. It will come by nobody's surprise that I stumbled upon another historical document, 1801, in North Carolina. A Black man was in court before the General Assembly to get his freedom with his slave holders or enslaver. And I'm really purposefully saying that, with some other white men. And I looked them up. He is listed. He did get his freedom, but he is listed on the document occupation slave doctor. That's actually listed on the document. I'm surprised they even gave him the doctor title, but he's listed as slave doctor. So that's what I'm working on. I'm following him to where I can't find him, and then fictional the generations of doctors in a family. You ever wonder why are there so many teachers in the family? Why are there so many doctors? It started from somewhere, and for him, it was important to help his people.
Wow.
So that's what I'm working on now.
And it's, I just want to say, you are really a leader in this, because I see a lot of other Christian fiction authors now doing historical research and work and coming up with books dealing with, some based on some of our ancestors. And you've been doing it for a while. So mixing the history with the
fiction. Yeah. Because I love history, but who wants to read a history book? But the historical tidbits are true. But the characters, and that's a way for me to kind of cheat. Oh, let me. Okay. But I love history. I love to share that with people, and people use it for youth ministry, because the young people don't know their history. Yeah. So
and just a lot of people don't know their history.
Well,
so I just love how these books are incorporating history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for you to let me share it. So people, I am on Instagram under author Pat Simmons. I'm on Facebook with Pat Simmons Readers. I have a group, and I run contests. I give away freebies. So you definitely want to join Pat Simmons Readers on Facebook.
And you have a live. They're interested in joining your fun live.
Yes, and hopefully I can put that on my YouTube. I'll share it on, because I do have a YouTube channel. I don't know what it is, but it's Christian author Pat Simmons. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. I do crazy stuff on TikTok. I
got to get on TikTok, y'all.
TikTok is entertaining. It's entertaining. But it's also historical stuff on there too that I say. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to close it up again. Thank you all for joining us and for and just sharing, and make sure I don't miss any questions or anything. And thank you, Pat Simmons, for coming. And
thank you for
just being in our
me.
presence. We're so excited. Y'all, we're going to have some books here.
Yes.
For you to purchase if you can't make it. Definitely add this to your summer reading list, please. The summer reading, Day of Salvation. Add that to your summer reading. And the next book that's coming out is
it's Christmas Shopper. The Christmas Shopper.
Oh, I like that one. Okay.
It's a novella, because I have to have a Christmas book, but I'm trying to finish all these other books. And because I have to write the next Jameson book, that's going to be in Omaha.
I'm going to be excited about that one.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Well, the last book took place in Omaha. I set it up in Omaha with the firefighter.
Oh, really? Wonderful.
He came to the rescue. Just saying.
Wonderful. We have a Native Omaha Day coming up. I probably won't be able to go, but
you'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
You'll have to let me know so that my characters will be there.
Yeah, it actually takes place every 2 years.
Okay.
So this year we're having
Perfect.
The first It's that week leading to the first Saturday in August. And then, we won't have it until another 2 years. So every 2 years we have our
That's
Native
perfect.
holiday.
I'm going to include that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, everyone. Well, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Please stop by the Doc Bookshop if you're in the DFW area. We appreciate you. Definitely check out Pat Simmons on all the socials. Make sure you get books, add her books to your library. We appreciate you. And until next time, keep reading.
Thank you, everybody.